This is Irontrader, and this is the weekend edition. Hoping everybody's having a good weekend out there. So today we are going to review some indexes. We're going to look here at the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and then I got a request here for the Nikkei 225. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do gold, silver, Bitcoin, and then what's a video without crude oil and natural gas. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have the Dow. Now you can see here how we're just selling off here lately, okay? Got into a topping tail situation right here, and then we kind of like double top there, okay? We had 41,376, and then we put in a high up here at 41,198. There's your double top, and then she's been coming off ever since. Now, Friday was a pretty kind of an ugly day for the simple reason is they're talking about like a possible recession here now. Now, the jobs unemployment rate went up, and the jobs are getting a little thinner out there, and then they're looking at the housing market here, so maybe a possible recession going on here, and they're looking for maybe some Fed rate cuts here coming on September might be a possibility here. Okay, so what do we have here on the Dow? You can see where it just came off, a double top came out off, but again, we put in a bottoming tail here, so we don't want to get too excited, okay? So let's just look at the downside first. So what we're looking at first here is going to be looking at this a 39,460.94. That's your 50-day SMA here, and then we're going to come over here to your 100-day. You're sitting at 39,173.25, which lines up pretty much, I see, with your price channel level. Okay, now again, if this is all lost here, then we can just bring these price channels right across here. Okay, so then you're looking at 38,908 here. We come over here to this level right here. You're looking at 38,778, and then we'll come right over here. You're looking here. You're looking at 38,305.85, and then we can come all the way down to the bottom there. You're looking at 38 flat really, and then we have this big retest going all the way down here at 37,661. Now I'm not saying that's where it's going to go, but right now this is looking really ugly. When you look at this RSI here, okay, there's no divergence or anything. This is just selling right off. Okay, same way with the issue. Green cross below the red, that's a sell signal. That is never really good. You can see what's going on here. There is a negative divergence going on right here. Okay, see, so we have this high situation. We have a high, then we have an even higher high. But look towards RSI here. See, you have a lower high. See this negative divergence? That's the first thing you always want to watch on when you start having a sell down. Okay, so here on the weekly chart here, really need to close up for the week here above this 8 SMA here, looking at 39,606, and then we have your 21 SMA here right below that at 39,176. Then obviously we can come down to all these levels here, but realistically right now what we want to really watch is this 50-day, that 39,460. And then we want to watch that 100-day at 39,179, okay? Then we can see exactly if it loses that, then we'd have a lot of good support levels, a lot of good targets to aim for. Now, here on the upside, you can see where it closed for the week here. We are back above this 8 SMA here, which is actually, very, very good. So that's going to be your support, that 39.6, and then we have that 39,175. But here on the upside, you really want to get back above this 21-day. You're looking at 41.98, and then we have your 8-day sitting at 40,323. So this is going to be very tough. Now, again, this is rolling over, but we got to see. Okay, it was rolling over here too. Then it popped right back up. So let's just see here, because what we did is we didn't finish at the bottom. We have this bottoming tail. So let's just see how this is all going to shake out on Monday. So realistically, Monday, just watch that 50-day on the downside, and then watch Friday's low. That's going to be key, that 39.5, 358. And then the upside was going to be your target is going to be that 41.98, and then right above it is that 40.23. Okay, let's take a look here at the S&P. Okay, your S&P is pretty much the same thing. See, we had that same bottoming tail. However, this could be also, short covering going into the weekend. So we got to be very, very attentive. Now, when you look here on the weekly chart, you can see when it ran all the way up here. Well, every time I say when you lose the 8-day, you just look to the next level, which is that 21-day. And look how nice it held that 21-day. Okay, see, this is why you want to trade the charts. If that had been lost, then we aim for the 50-day, the 100 to 200-day. But it held that 21-day very nice, back above the 8, and then went right up. So now we're holding that 21-day again here. Okay, so this is what you got to really focus on right here for the week. Okay, so you're looking at 53.06. That's going to be very, very key level there. Okay. So here on the daily chart, what we want to watch here is this 5307, which lines up very, very nice here with that 21 SMA here. But again, if that is lost here, then we can just follow the candles all the way down. Okay. So we just look at these, the price channel coming on here. Your next target is going to be 5280. Then we can bring this price channel here right across. Okay, we're looking right here in this area here. You're looking at 5165. Now, I just want to show you that there is a gap and a fill here. Okay, so right here, you look at this low is 5101, and then look on the top here is 5011. Okay, see right there, 5101, and then 5073 there is your high. Okay, so just watch that gap and watch that fill. If it keeps selling off here, then you can get all the way down to your 200-day at 5007, and then all the way down here, okay, at your 4953. But I always like to, again, I like to show you where it could possibly go. But again, if this 100-day here and that 21-day is lost, then we just want to watch that gap. Okay, at 5101, and then right on top there, that 5073. That's going to be very, very important because usually that has a really good support levels here when you have those gap and fills. Now, on the upside, here's what you really need to do. You got to get back above that price channel at 53,900. You can see how it was holding it sideways action here, and that 50-day was kind of holding it right on up here. But now when you lost that, then she keeps rolling out. But what I don't like, see this 8 SMA, you cross the 21-day, you cross the 50-day. So any kind of a bounce that's going to go up here is going to fight this 8 SMA here very, very strongly. So when you look at your RSI, this has got a lot of room to run to the downside. This right here, when you get that green crossed over the red, that's a sell signal. Looks like it can come right on down. Same way here. There's no divergences here, but again, you just have a sell signal going all the way down. Like, can it bounce up? Absolutely. But let's just see if that 21-day is going to hold. Okay, now your green over your red here, that's always a sell signal also here. So this S&P is not looking too good. But again, if you can get back above, you're looking at that 33.90. That's going to be very key, that price channel. And then right above it, what we're going to be looking for is 54.37. And then we're going to be looking here for that 54.49 level here. But realistically, just watch this key price channel, this 53.90. That's going to be very, very critical here on the upside. Now, there is a gap that was left here on the chart. So when you look at Friday's high, you're looking at 53.83, and then we look at the bottom of that candle there, 54.10. So there's a gap and a fill. Okay, so always watch those gaps in the fill. Now this is on the upside, just like this one here is going to be on the downside. But watch that price channel. If we can get back above there, okay, then we can start maybe hitting for that 50-day, that 8-day, and then we can, if you can keep trying and squirting here, then you can get maybe here to that 55.28. So let's just see how this all shakes out. But right now, when you line up all your RSI, your MACD, and you have your gap, it's on the way down, and you have this cross here, this is a very, very bearish chart. Okay, let's take a look here at the NASDAQ. Okay, now the NASDAQ is very, very simple now. Simpler, like, basically going to what the S&P was doing. Okay, so when we rallied right on up here, holding that 8-day, came down, held this 21-day here on a weekly basis, and now we're coming down here, but kind of really lost on this level here. So we really closed there for the week here. What we closed at is 16,776. And you have 16,862. So we close a little bit below that 21-day here, but we close below here, there too, on this red candle. So we got to see how this thing shakes out. But realistically, you want to watch that 16,862. If we can get back up here, then we can look at that 1771 here level. But right now, this is the same kind of a pattern. See how this is plenty of room to run on the downside. Your green crossed over your red. That's a sell signal. This has been a sell signal. See how that? Then that crosses over, that looking like a down. But again, your RSI here, this still has room to run to the downside. Now, right here, there was no real divergence going on here as far as a negative divergence. But right now, this here just looks like it wants to go lower. But let's just take a look here on a daily. Now, we have an indecision candle here, okay? So that's what we have here, like how it finished on Friday. So what we're looking for on the upside is right here. You're looking at that 18,677. And then what we'll do is look at the top of Friday's 16,920. There's your gap, and then we look right to the bottom there at 1751. There's your fill. Okay, so your gap and your fill, and then we have this price channel at 1715 level here. Oh, got a plane going here overhead of us. Okay, so again, if you can rally up here, we have this 8 SMA here at 17. 246, then you have 17,589 is your 50-day, and then you can come up here to your 21 SMA. But big but here, see how this 8-day cross the 21-day, cross the 50-day. You've been watching my videos on crude oil and natural gas, you see the same shit going all the way down. This just looks lower. So any kind of a rally, this 8-day is going to stop it dead in its tracks. It's not going to be very, very easy. But right now, you look at this chart here, you add this up, add this up, add this, add this. This is very, very bearish here, okay? So now on the downside here, you want to watch, obviously, is you want to watch this 21-day and all this level here. You need to close back above there for the week. But what we want to do is you want to watch Friday's low, okay? So you're looking at a 16,582. That's going to be very key. And then if that's lost, we can come all the way down here. What do we have here? 16,445. But I want to show you here the same thing as we had on that S&P chart is right here, okay? Look to the bottom of that candle, okay? 1668. There's your gap, and then we look to the top there at 15,862. So there's your gap, and there's your fill. That should become pretty good support levels, and then you're going to come all the way down here to your 15,811 here. Okay, so again, if Friday's is lost, that 16,582. Then we're going to be looking for that gap, that fill, in this key 200-day. On the upside, you just want to watch that 1715, but realistically, you want to watch the top of this candle, 16,920. And look to the bottom there, 1751. There's your gap and your fill right here on this chart also. Now, remember, companies like I like to trade as NVIDIA and Tesla. These are still good traders, even though they're coming off. Now, remember, NVIDIA is going to have their earnings out here on the 28th. I think they're going to be blowout numbers here. But again, just trade the stock. That's when put the money in your pocket every day, because when you see charts like this and when you see the NASDAQ selling off, it doesn't really care. Everything will just go right on with it. Okay, let's take a look here at the Nikkei 225. We got a little request for that. Okay, here we have the Nikkei. Now this is absolute, just a off the cliff kind of a situation there. You can see this. Okay, see where this 8-day went below the 21-day, the 50-day, the 100-day, and now you're just heading right on down here. And now you're below the 200-day, which means you're below all your simple moving averages. Okay, so that's basically just what they call not good. Okay, see that? Okay, you're just below everything there. Okay, so what we want to watch, and then you got to figure out, look how bad this is. At least you when you look at the Dow and the S&P and the comp, at least they put in some kind of a bottoming tail. This did not. This basically just finished right at the bottom. So you really want to watch this 37,737. That's going to be very, very key. And then what we do is we come right over here to all this level right here. Okay, so then you're looking at 35,813. But there's so many gaps here. Okay, so look at the bottom here. You're looking at 35,362. There's your gap. Look at the top of this candle, 35,157, 56. There's your fill. Okay, and then look at the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 34,849. There's your gap, and then look to the top of this candle, 34,539. There's your fill. So you got gap and a fill, gap and a fill, all the way working yourself all the way down here until you can get down to this level here at 33,460. I don't see anything reason here to say I want to buy this. Okay, well, you need to have a bottoming candle, okay, something like on this order right there, okay, or something like on this order, something that shows you that, hey, the selling is done, we want to take this bad boy higher, okay, but right now there is nothing. So what I would be doing is just watch these gaps, okay. Again, that is a 35,362 your gap, and then look top there is 35,157, and then look to the bottom of that, 34,849, and then look to the top of that candle, 34,539. Okay, so gap, fill, and then we can come all the way down to this level here. This is just not looking good. Now for the week, you really need to get back and close above this 50-day here. That's at 36,112. It just doesn't look like you're going to do it. So we're going to come right over here to your next level here of on the weekly chart here is at 35,687, and then we can come all the way here. We always look to the left of the chart here, 33,772 here. So this is where it might be a buying opportunity here, or even when it comes down here to your 100 SMA here. But if it can get back above this 50-day and close above that 36,112 for the week, then we can maybe take a shot back up here at that 36,733. But right now, this is just a really, really bearish chart. See how this has plenty of room to run. This is plenty of room to run here, but on the downside. Now you're getting here kind of like to an oversold condition. But again, with this big ass red candle, very, very tough here. Okay, so Here's the upside you're looking at is 36.12, and then what 112, and then we're looking at 36. 800 there. Okay, that 200 day is very, very key. But then again, see, this left another gap in the fill on the chart on the upside here. Okay, so when we look at this here, you want to look at 37,471. Okay, that's your gap. And then we look to the bottom of this candle here, looking at 37,737. So gap and fill, okay, and then we have your 8-day right above that at 38,103. But this is just looking ugly. See how this 8 days rolled over? Look at this 21 days rolling over, your 50 days rolling over. This just looks like it just wants to go lower. Okay, so I would never buy this on when you have a candle like this, unless the price would come and hold above, okay, this big red candle. That's the thing. But when you look at the weekly chart here, see a series of lower highs and lower lows. That's never good. Okay, that is just never good. You always want just the opposite, a series here of higher highs and higher lows to take this higher. But as far as like trying to catch a falling knife here, I just wouldn't do this. I'd wait for some kind of reversal candle. Now again, if even though you have this big red candle, if we go there and you say, hey, there's a green candle next to it and holds that bottom, then we can maybe rally up here. Then you'd be looking right here at that 36,112 here and that 36,800 there on the upside. Okay, and then maybe the gap in the fill. But right now, there's just is not a buying opportunity to say, I'm going to jump into this and I'm going to take a long here. So this, if you're trading this, be very, very patient, okay, if you want to trade this, and just wait for a bottoming situation here. Now, I say you are getting here into oversold conditions here, but just wait until we get like a higher low or a red dog. A red dog is something like on this order here, where it comes down low, okay, and everybody's going to get short, and then it just rallies up and finishes up, and then you get that bottoming tail, that then you can run it right back up here again. Or you get some kind of like a green candle next to this, and then it just starts pushing itself right on up. So wait for some kind of a bottom tail. Now, again, if you want to know about candlesticks or chart patterns, just go on my playlist. Everything's right there. Just click on, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here when you're talking about bear flags and bull flags and anything like that to do with candlestick charts. Okay, next one we're going to take a look here is going to be at gold. Okay, now gold, in my personal opinion, has always been a trade like a fear trade. Okay, that's what I always say. So when you have fear in the markets, a fear like this, gold usually is going to rally. Okay, and obviously it rallied up here big time. Okay, so you can see here where gold, we had that sideways action here. We had a double top situation, came right on down here, but then you're holding your nice 50-day. Then we had a double bottom, then it rallied up here. But you notice how gold is very, very fickle, and then we would do is we put in a indecision candle going on here. But even when we're down here on this area here, I just said, if you're going to break up above this 2450, you're going to go to that 2500 mark very, very easily, and obviously we got there. Now again, you closed at 2486, so we got there. But again, we didn't close above that here. Okay, so on the upside, realistically, what you're looking for here now is we're looking for the top of this candle. Okay, 2496. Then we're going to look at this candle here at 2506, and then your big retest up there at 2522. If you break out above that, you go into 2550. They like them round kind of a numbers, where it'll spike up, and then we got to see if this is going to hold. Now, downside here is very, very easy here, because first of all, what you want to do here is your key level is going to be right here. Okay, it's going to be your 8 SMA, 2443. That's going to be very crucial. Then we have 2425, and then you have your 2379, and then we're going to come down to the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 2351 here. Okay, so this here is right now still looking very, very bullish, but we got to see how this indecision candle here plays out, kind of a situation. Now here, you got a possible negative divergence, but we got to see how this is going to kind of shake out, because we put in a higher high and you got a lower high right there, but a higher high there. So let's just see how this shakes out. But I do like the MACD. The MACD, the green is crossed above the red. That looks very positive. This looks very positive. A lot of good strength going on here. And now your green is above your red. That looks very strong. So actually for the week, you close out at 2486, but this is still looking very, very strong here to go to the upside. And look at the MACD, you got plenty of room here to run. So realistically here, you just give this thing some space though, okay? I mean, this isn't something that you're going to trade, within pennies kind of a situation. So give us some space. As long as you're holding that 2443 here and this 2425, this is looking very, very good here, because you can see how both of them are curling up here. That's exactly what you want to see. This 8-day, see, to the upside, 21-day to the upside. You just had sideways action here, and now it looks like you just want to break out. Okay, let's take a look here at silver. Okay, we have silver. Now, again, it's nothing like what gold is doing. Okay, it ripped higher along with gold here, but then look and see here what Friday is. Okay, you still have that indecision candle, but again, and it's a green candle, which is good, but you didn't have that big rip higher kind of a situation. We're just kind of sitting right here. So let's look at the downside first. So first of all, you always want to watch is that 8 SMA. That's 28.52, and then we want to watch Friday's low. You're looking at 28.06, and then we can come over here to your 27.45 level. That's going to be your big retest kind of level. Then we can just bring your price channels across here. What do you got there? You're looking at 27.24 level. Then we have 26.65, and then we'd be looking right there at that 26.25 a level, and then we come all the way down here 26.05. Okay, that's your 200 SMA. Now again, if you lost this 27.45, your big target is going to be that 200 simple moving average. Now, when we look at to the upside here for the week, you really need to get back above this 28.66 level. That's that 21 day. You can see how it stopped it right there, and then right above that is at 29.66, and then we can start retesting going all the way on up here. But we put in a double top situation, came right on down here, and pretty much the same thing. It just could not break through that 32 level and close above it. Came all the way down. Now we just have sideways action. So really what you want to do is you want to watch Friday's high. That's at 29.35. If you can get above that, you got 29.84, your 21 day, and then we have your 50 day above that at 30 flat. Okay, and then you just work yourself up here with the candles. You got 30.80, then we have 31.65, and then your retest there of 32.02. Like obviously, if you break above that, you're going to hit that 32.75. You break above that 32.75, you're going to $35. Okay, it's just that simple. Okay, now your RSI is looking good. That looks like plenty of room to run either direction. This looks like it's still bearish, but it looks like it wants to curl up. If it does curl up here, then we can get this nice run here, just like we had here. This is looking bearish right here. Okay, your green crossed over your red. That's usually a sell signal, but it can curl right back up here because we really. This is just a sideways action kind of a situation, but it just doesn't look like it's this performing as well here as the old gold. So again, just watch this 8 SMA on the downside, watch that 100 day on the upside, and then watch Friday's high and that low and that closing number. That's going to be your key numbers. You close below that, you're going to hit that 27.45 and even possibly come right down here. If you go higher, you're going to be looking at that 29.84, and then you're basically your 30 flat kind of a level here. Okay, so just watch that, and I think that'll be the tell. Now, the easy way to how I trade this is gold is with GLD, and with silver is SLV. Very easy in and out. Now, again, they also make ETFs that you can short this, but I just wouldn't short the commodities now. I think just think when the U.S. here, when you got the election going on, you got a possible recession, you got the Fed coming there, might be cutting rates here. There's just too much going on here to drop the commodities because these are almost like a fear factor kind of a situation. Okay, let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin here pretty much had the same reaction as what silver did. Okay, so we were just trading a nice sideways. You can see here on the double top situation, came right on down here, and then we just put like a bottom, and then we just gap and go. Okay, so anytime you get some moves here, this is really go. A lot of the politicians now are pushing the Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, I think they just want their votes kind of a situation. They want to, do the Bitcoin. I'll be honest with you, I never trade Bitcoin, but charts are charts. It doesn't really make a hell of a lot of difference there. So if you do trade the Bitcoin, great. But again, it's going to be very, very volatile. Okay, so here's what we want to watch. Now we have kind of a double bottom situation here. So what you want to do is watch Friday's low, looking at 62,470. Then what we have, I want to show you here is this gap. Okay, so right there you're looking at 68.45. There's your gap. Look at the top of this, 58,790. There's your fill. So your gap and your fill. That's what you're going to be looking for targets here if Friday's low is going to be lost. And then we can always come back to the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 56,685 here. And then we can come all the way down here to your 200 day at 54.66, and then down to your price channel going on there at 53.65. But realistically, what I would be doing here on the downside is just watching this gap in this fill. If that sells off here, this will probably hold there for the good support. Now, upside, well, it's pretty easy. You got this 368. There's your 21 day here, and then we have your 65.49. There's your 50 day, and then we have your 100-day above that, 65,572, and then we have your 8-day right there at 65,905. Now remember, Bitcoin is going to be very, very volatile. It's going to be like the gold, the silver, the oil. Everything's going to be very, very wild here, you know, in the old Bitcoin here. So again, just watch what the charts are telling you here. Okay, on the downside, if this loses Friday's low, just watch that gap and watch that fill. If that's all gone, watch the bottom of the candle, and then we can come down to your 200-day and maybe even a retest of that price channel. On the upside, very, very easy. Just watch that 21-day and then watch that 50 SMA here. Let me pull that up right there. See that? And then we have your 100 SMA, and then we have your 8 SMA here right above that. Again, obviously, if you can break above that, then you have your retest there at 70.85, and then we can come all the way up here to these levels here. You got 72.60 level, and then we have your big target up there at 74.15. You break above that 74.15, you're going to 100K very, very easily, okay? So on a weekly basis here, as long as we hold this 8 SMA here, you're looking pretty good. And we want to get ready to actually back above that that 21 SMA here to take it higher. Okay, so this is what we're kind of looking at here. So just be patient here, because this is basically, this is a trader again. Okay, this is not like a, I don't think like a buy and hold until you can get some kind of a definite bottom situation. Okay, let's take a look here at the VIX here first. Okay, let's take a look at the old VIX going on now. You can see old Spike City, but again, see, that's what the VIX does, okay? So, see, at the end of the day, it came off here pretty hard. So, we got to really see what's happening here either Sunday night when the futures open there at 6 o'clock or on Monday morning. Now, do we just have a short covering rally going into here to the end of the day on Friday? Or is this actually doing something here? But just remember, the VIX, the VIX, it just spikes up. That's what it does. I mean, that's what the VIX does. It just gives you the old spike ski the whole way. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it just kind of measures volatility. It doesn't seem to be as accurate what it used to be. But again, you got a big, big spike up there at that 29.66 level. Okay, so we got all the way here. Now, we didn't quite make it all the way here to the top. Okay, so that there was... actually, yeah, we did. Let me see. What do we have on top there? 30.81. No, we didn't quite make it to that top there. Okay, so we got into this level right here. So this is where we're kind of looking at. And then right here is your big spike all the way to 30.81. And then we can actually get up to 34.88. Level here, and then actually higher there. You're looking at the 36 level here. But right now, I just got to see how this is going to shake out. It's going to come right back onto this, into the 21-day level, and then come right down to your 200-day, which is your 19 level, and then down to your 17 level, or is it going to stay high here? But usually when you get a tail like this here, that's just a typical kind of VIX situation here, where we had this, look at see on the bottom there, boom, she stroked right on down, and then look at here, you just had that sideways action. But usually when you get a spike like this, that usually tells you that the volatility is kind of running out of the situation. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out, because here's a pretty good couple examples. Now, again, we could also do this where you have that spike up and then the following day spike up, and then boom, when she comes off, boom, down goes Frazier all the way on down. Okay, let's take a look here at crude oil. Okay, now crude oil has been a really, for me, has been a really excellent trade here. I do the UCO for the long, SCO for the short. Now, again, there's a lot of ways you can do, you know, you can do options, you can do a lot of different ways here to trade crude oil. But that's, for me, I just find it simple because I trade a lot of different things during the day, okay? So something I can just jump on, get in, get out of the kind of a situation here now. Okay, so OPEC had their meeting, and it was a virtual meeting. And basically, they left all the cuts and everything the same. But what they did change, which is very interesting, is they were going to take these voluntary cuts off that were going to be like October. And now they're saying, well, maybe we're not going to be maybe taking those cuts, those voluntary cuts off the table here. Now we're going to keep on cutting because they were going to put more supply in the market, which makes no sense. Because then, you know, when you have a price there that was all the way up here in the 80s, and now you're sitting at $10 cheaper, there's really no sense for you to be adding more crude oil, especially here now coming at the end of summer driving. So OPEC there just kind of changed their tune on that, which, you know, isn't surprising. So they always just watch the market, and they want to know which way kind of a direction is going to go. Then they can kind of adapt there to it. So I think their voluntary cuts and their mandatory cuts are going to be continuing here for quite a while until they can get that price exactly where you want. But let's just take a look here at the chart. You can see here we had the double top here, series lower highs, lower lows, and then we had this big ass green candle. Now I thought maybe we could possibly rally up here. So you can see what we had here, a series of lower highs and lower lows, just like we had here. Then we got this reversal candle. Now, all reversal candles are different. There's some like this here. There's some like this, okay, like this here. But this is also a reversal pattern, okay? So when you see that all the way down and you see the red all the way, come all the way down and put like a little bit of bottoming tail in, but the green, if as long as it holds that low and then makes a higher high, it tells you that you got to get into that trade, okay? And then it ended up turning out to be a nice trade here. This is left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder, and it ran right on up. But we had this double top situation, just like we had going on here, and then she came right on down. Now, you look at here, we had these lower highs and lower lows situation, but then we had that green candle again, like we had here, which just rallied all the way up here nicely. But if you notice it were to go, it went right into this key 200 simple moving average here. This is what you got to, this is what you always got to watch for. So when you see that and you can't get through, and then the next day you just have a little topping tail and it falls below, that tells you that long trade is done. Okay, so don't say I'm going to stay in a long trade. It's going to be this, going to be that. No, it isn't. It's gone. It's done. It's over. See this? Okay, that 200-day stopped at dead in its track. That little bit of there doesn't mean a whole lot of anything, okay? And then when she sold down and you close below that 8 SMA, that was absolute confirmation that this is definitely going to go lower. And then we couldn't even make the halfway up the candle the following day. And then when you lost that low, that's the key. That's where you put that short back on again, okay? So it was a nice short here, then you take that off. The following day here is what you do is you watch that previous day's low. That was that 76.24. So when it rallied up here and then it came down and you lost that, that tells you got to get that short back on here because she's going lower, and look what happened all the way down. Now again, on Friday, you put this bottoming tail in here. You got as low here as 72.97, and you finished all the way up here at 74.14. So that was a pretty good turnaround. So now what we have to do is when those futures open at 6, now obviously I'll have enough video for you here after 6 on crude oil and natural gas as usual. And we got to see where it's going to go. So now what you want to do is you want to trade against that low. Okay, so that low was 72.97. Now, again, at the next level here is going to be that 72.82. Okay, so obviously, see, it held that 72.82, but then your next level here is going to be right here, and it's going to be, what do we got there? Okay, 72.48 level. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at, and that's what you can be trading against there is that 72.48 if Friday's low there is lost. Okay. Now upside, you want to look at that price channel. Obviously, you want to look at that 74.59. That's always very, very key level. Then you can just work yourself right on up. So we just look at that bottom of that green candle. You're looking at 75.18. Then we come over here. You're looking at 75.35. This is going to be a key level here. That 76.04, and then we're going to be looking at that 8 SMA. That's going to be very, very crucial. That's 76.65 because obviously, like I always tell you, that price has to get back above that 8 SMA like it did here. Then she can rally. When that price is below it, then she just goes lower. So if we can get above this key price channel level, then we can just start rallying all the way up here, but just watch that 8-day. Now, again, that's sitting at 76.65. It's not going to be that when those futures open here tonight at 6 o'clock. That will be lower because you can see how she's rolling over. But that's going to be very, very key. Again, obviously, we can get above that. Well, then we can go to Friday's high. That's at 77.29. We all were there. We have here 77.69. We can come up here 78.19. You got 78.47. But realistically, this 78.48, which is pretty much right there, that is going to be your key, that 200-day and this 50-day right above it at 79. What do we have there? 79.17. But look at this 21 days. See how that's rollover? 8 days rollover. This is a very, very bearish chart. Okay, this is not what you call a bullish chart here at all. Okay, especially now that RSI has plenty of room to run there on the downside. Okay, and this is obviously this is a sell down. Now it tried to rally up here on that green candle, but it just could not do it. Now here on the weekly chart, this is still not looking really that bad because see, we had a low. Okay, we had a higher low. We have a higher low, and now we have a higher low. The key is you got to hold that 72.48, which is basically the bottom of that candle. If not, then we just follow all these candles down. Look at there, 71.41. You got 70.50 here. You got 69.28. Look at here, okay? So you got 67.71, and this could come all the way down to 63.64 here very, very easily if that 72.48 there is lost here. So let's just see if this can get right back up into here and maybe possibly get back above that 77.53. It's not going to be easy, but let's just see if it can rally right on up. Okay, let's take a look here at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas, okay, one of my favorite trades. Now you can see here Friday we put in that low of 1.92. You say, well, how did I get to 1.92? I've been telling you here for weeks, always just look to the left of the chart, okay? We were looking at this candle first, 197, okay, went below that. We're looking at 195, went below that. Then we look at this candle here, what do we have? 1.916, that's your support, okay? Next level, what do we got here? 1.90, there's your gap. So we got to see, we have an indecision candle, but again, it popped up. We got to see how it all shakes out. So again, if that 192 is lost, this is where you're going right there at 1.90. Okay, if that's lost, then we're going to come right over here to the top of this candle, 1.85. Then you have 1.80. We have 1.78. We have 1.72. And then we have your fill right there at 1.67. And then we look to the bottom of that candle, 1.58. Okay, so gap, fill. This is all support levels, but everything you need to know is sitting right here on your support levels. That's only if, boom, that 1.92 there is lost. Upside, going to be very, very tough. You finish at 1.97. But right here, this is the key that we're looking for, okay? 2.045. Now, again, when those futures open up here at 6 o'clock, that's going to be lower, okay? So you need to get back above that. But you see how this is when this 8-day rolls all the way down? Crosses all that. Not good. See how the 21-day crossed the 50, the 200-day, the 100-day going lower. Okay, even if you rally up and you get above that 2.045, you're going to be stopped dead right there at that 2.159. Okay, it's just that simple. So these here will be lower, and then we have right above that, we do have 2.21. Now, that all being said here, this is looking very, very interesting. See how we have a low, lower low, lower low. But look at your RSI. Low, higher low, higher low. See this? Positive divergence. So keep your eye on this. This negative divergence played right on out. See how you have your high? You got a high. You got even higher high, lower high. Negative divergence, how you're going to sell. This is going to be looking here, eyeing up pretty good. Now, seasonality will be coming into play here. Really, the first week of September. Now, again, if you want to look at seasonality charts on crude oil, natural gas, and the NASDAQ, go on my playlist. Seasonality charts are right there. Or you can go to equityclock.com, punch up anything that you want. Crude oil, natural gas, gold, silver, anything on the futures that trade in the futures, boom, it's all right there for you. Over a 20-year period gives you a pretty good gist of what's going on here. Now, basically, natural gas is just selling off. Now, remember, the heat has been extreme this summer here, but for whatever reason, natural gas is just selling off. Now, they had to, they're getting some lot smaller builds than what to do. So that's actually coming down looking pretty good here for down the road. So don't give up natural gas. Don't give up on it because natural gas is going to be a good buying opportunity here. You're going to make a lot of money on the upside on this. So just be patient. Right here on your MACD, you got oversold conditions here. This is positive divergence. So just give this a little bit of time here, patience. What we're looking for is some kind of a bottoming situation so we can take this higher. Now, when you look at the weekly chart here, well, obviously you got a lot of big targets here, okay? So you got that 2.20, okay? That's what you're going to be looking for. You're going to be looking for here on that 2.36, and then we have your 2.45 level, and then you have your big retest here at 3.15, and then you can just work yourself all the way on up here. But again, eventually, this is going to be a real good buying opportunity here to take it much higher. Just be very, very patient. Now, with me, I've been just scalping like the UNG long, but getting out of it, okay? Now, I did hold it there for one day overnight there, and it just didn't develop like I thought it did on this candle here because I thought we had like a bottoming situation, but it just didn't develop. So next time I see this, when I see this red candle, boom, I'm out of trade, and I actually going short with KOLD. KOLD has been really, really great. I mean, you got to figure on, I just punch it up on all the charts there. It's been a really good swing on the short side, but then I just get right out of it until we can find some kind of a bottoming situation and then take this long. Okay, that's what I got for you on the weekend edition. Again, I'll be back here Sunday night here, which is today. A little bit after 6. As soon as the futures open at 6, before 7 o'clock, and I'll have we'll see what crude oil is doing and what natural gas is doing. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for watching.